Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we will be working on the remaining parts of my Sun Quan Astray. Now, I only actually used the swords from this kit and used it into the Machao Barbatos that I have previously built. You can check the video series of that work in progress or that project in the description, and you can check it out after the video. So now I'm just preparing the rest of the parts that I actually haven't cut out from the runners, and also trying to clean up some knobs that I immediately see. And basically it's just going to be some prep work or some initial build to give me a visual perspective of what I want to do with this kit. Originally, the front skirt, if I remember correctly, and the back skirt, I actually wanted to swap or like reverse the locations of it. Now I also wanted to use some pieces from the Machao Barbatos, like the hair and maybe even the weapons. Now for the shoulders, originally I wanted to change it into a different shape, but then I realized the design of it is already good, and it has a nice red color piece there. For the head, it's going to be just a simple modification. I think I'll just add some hair at the back part of this. So yeah, and maybe we can also use, or we can also do the eye thing that I did with the Machao Barbatos. Now, this is what my original plan was for the front skirt, because I don't want it to be hindered very much, but I'll change it later on. So we'll see if I was able to put it in the video. First off, we're going to work on the head. So I'm now drilling a hole into the hollow peg of the backside of the head, and mainly this is just so that I can insert a runner piece into it to serve as a connecting point for the Machao Barbatos hair that I will be using for the back part. I'm getting a small runner piece, which is actually just enough of fit there. And then we'll just connect the hair somewhere in this length. But I later on decided to bend it using some heat, of course, because the hair is too much standing. So having that hair effect in this orientation will be much better. I'm just taking time to make sure that the hair piece or the hair effect does not hinder the body section of this kit. So now we're going to go ahead and glue this hair piece and prepare it to be connected to the peg that I already prepared earlier. Now you can see there's actually a like a sort of peg thing, flat, whatever that is called, in this kit or in this hair piece. And what I'm doing right now is just, you know, covering it up to prepare it for the next part of what I want to do with this hair effect piece. Now, I already showed you guys how I made these eye shapes in the macho video, so I just modify the shape a little bit based on the bread clips that I am using. The shape actually is very nice, so we'll just implement that same shape for the edges of that bread clip, and we will be using this as the eye parts. Seriously, if you buy bread like the pre-sliced loaves in the supermarket and you have bread clips, save them up, because not only are they free plow plates that you can use for small detail making, you can also use or take advantage of the shape of the bread clip that you have. Sometimes it almost feels to me like it's, you know, already pre-made edges that you can use as part of your design for whatever custom project you're doing with your gunpla. And for my case, they are particularly effective in helping me achieve some eye parts. Now let's go back into further modifying the hair, and we're using these forks from, you know, takeout food from the restaurant or from fast food, and I'm just going to cut out the tips. This particular fork has this very nice curved shape which helped me identify it to be used for additional parts for the hair. And as you will see here, we will be using it to increase like sort of the spread of the hair sideways, because just using the matcha hair looks kind of flat for me, and I wanted to sort of like have a more, I don't know, dynamic feel to it. So now I'm just super gluing the fork bits that I have prepared, and I'll let it dry for like a few moments. So just fitting it like so, you can see that the eyes really make it look better in a way, even without paint. And now the hair looks more dynamic. Next, I'm working on the back skirting. If I remember correctly, this is the front skirt, or part of the front skirt of the same SDS tray, but I'm going to use it as the back part instead. And in this part, I'm just trying to figure out how I will be able to mount it. properly and just covering some of the parts that are unsightly, because there's another part that's supposed to go in front of it, which I decided to retain as the front skirt of the kit. And so I just need to cover those unsightly previously hidden parts using some plow plates, and we'll just try to wing it to hide those the hole specifically, and also some of the places where there used to be pegs. So I think that's all the modifications that I need to do for the model itself, or the kit itself. Now we're going to work briefly on the weapon. The main weapon that I am going to use for this, originally I wanted it to have like a weapon effect that's like a stabbing thing, like a pointed sword, but I decided to change my course. I just changed it to making an axe. Now I made some initial sketches of the design and the shape of the axe blade, which I will be attaching to the Sun Quan's extra blade handle. It's supposed to originally combine, I think, the 2 or 3 swords that it had in the past. I'm just tacking them together and cutting out my shape to get a little bit more width, and hopefully we can also sharpen it later on to give it a sort of like a false edge or false wedge. It's not going to be super sharp, but at least it's going to have a taper on it so that you can see that it really is actually intended to be an axe blade. Now, as you can see, I'm not exactly finished with refining the shape. I just filed and sanded down the parts that will most likely be a problem to sand later, and also to prepare the side that will connect with the handle. And now that the axe is finalized, we'll also just refine the shape of the edge, and we will also check for any surface imperfections. I'll try my best to sand everything. And so let's skip to the next part. So I'll just breeze through the painting, because most of my painting for this project is very straightforward. I used a mix of Zerk paints for the main colors, and I used my usual Tamiya acrylics for some detail painting. I did, however, try like a gradient style for the hair part, but sadly I don't think I was able to properly record it. Don't worry guys, I'm going to try it again in a future build. So that's it, guys. This is the final look of this project, and in case you haven't realized the inspiration from it yet, this is actually something that I took the color scheme directly out of or inspired by Zenki. Hope you like this video, and if you're new to the channel, please be sure to like, subscribe, and maybe share it to your friends. In the meantime, stay safe, guys. Let's build, and see you on the next video.